Hello, Dick. You're going to be working on installation of the welding lead reels. Let's get to it. I picked up some stainless steel for $100, just this piece of sheet metal stainless steel. I'm going to be putting this underneath the top portion of the toolbox when bolting down the different items on top of the toolboxes. Starting off with the welding lead reels, that's going to be done first. So I will be cutting this out with the flap wheel or the flat disc of on the angle grinder. The reason I'm not cutting this out with the plasma machine, because I just recently found out there's an issue with the air supply with the hose and all that for the plasma machine. So I'm going to get that straightened out very soon. That is obviously a very high priority, but top priority is getting the welding lead reels put in today. So that is game plan. That's what I'm going to be doing. So I'm just going to go ahead and measure this out, cut it out. I will be using some of the different tools on the fabrication table, so that's wonderful. I've been looking forward to using them. So I'm going to go ahead and get to it. Everything's looking great for the marking, so I'm going to go ahead and drill it and then make sure that is all good, test fit it again, make sure the holes are all lined up once again, and then I'll go transfer that onto the stainless steel plate. so that's all done. Gonna go ahead and test fit it, make sure all the holes are good, it didn't walk at all. Perfect, looks like money to me. Booyah. All right, game plan for the welding lead reels is going to be, obviously you have the bolt. I'm going to have a large washer on top. Then will be the reel holder plate that has the holes in it. Then will be toolbox. Then will be the plate that the holes have been drilled out of. Then will be a small washer, then a lock washer. You can see the lock washer right there, and then the nut. So that's going to be the setup on how it's going to be bolted in. All the bolts and large washers up here, all the smaller washers, lock washers, and nuts are down here. Gonna have the plate down here ready to go. I'm also gonna get a bungee to hold the lead reel up. So I'm gonna grab the bungee and the lead reel. Grab two bungees just in case. Large bungee and a smaller bungee. And of course, lead reels. And I'm gonna go get this critter up here. Shavings are gone. I'm going to slide this over the holes, and then if you're wondering why I'm bunging it, because it is a bit heavy on this side. I'm going to bungee it over here, and it wants to naturally just kind of fall over. So I need to make sure that don't happen. Let's see. Let's see if having the just one bungee there and the bolts going in will hold it there for the moment. Keep it lined up. So that's 3 in, or 2 in. Third one's going in. There we go. And fourth one is right there. Haha. All right. Those all line up. Add this bungee over and hook it to something. If it's the chain for that, just so it stays here for the moment, so I can pick the plate up. Shouldn't fall regardless. If it were to go any way, it should go that way. You can see that way. All right. So how's this looking? All right, that looks good. It looks good. All right, I can definitely see the toolbox sagging a little bit, which not the greatest news because it's gonna have another couple hundred pounds on it. 100 and something, going on 200. All right, let's see. Got one going through. Get set up on here. Okay. There we go. What I'm gonna do is I'm just gonna hold it down with a nut for right now, just so I can get everything else lined up. So fooling around with all the other things. All right, let's see. Let's get it. What's that thing doing up there? What's going on in here? Throughout the day, there were some other things I had to attend to for the company, and so this just got delayed further and further, but it is finally on, and it does touch the rungs. So what happened was basically the aluminum sunk in some, since aluminum toolboxes. The stainless steel is on the bottom, so if it were to start pulling away, it would be the entire width pretty much holding it. So that is good. The reels do spin, so y'all can see this one spinning. This one still has the brake on. I'm gonna put this one through. There we go. So now that doesn't go anywhere, this doesn't go anywhere. It is basically up against the rungs. If I turn a little bit further, it will go up against the rungs. I can get this loosened. Alright, so this does swivel out. Obviously the ladder's in the way a little bit, but I can actually show you what I'm planning to do, because I'm not going to have a ladder here every time I'm doing stuff with the leads. Basically, I'm just planning to wrap my arm around here. I'll show you. This swivels out. You know, if you see, it swivels out. I'm going to wrap my arm around here and As y'all know, if you've welded in the field a lot, leads tend to get very dirty and filthy and can get mud, all kinds of junk stuck on them. We have some sort of washcloth or something to wipe off all the debris, because the leads can heat up in here and I don't want anything catching fire or being superheated with all the stuff if there's a lot of amps going through it. If there's too much, obviously I'll bring them out as you're supposed to, but I'll just be right here. My left hand will have a washcloth in it, and I'll just be right here and reeling them in just like so. So it'll be up close, tight to the truck, which is good in case this is for some reason up against the street. I don't want to be hanging way out here. If this is for any reason having to be all the way in towards the median or the left hand side of the street and this is facing outwards, then I want to be up close. So this is perfect. I have this perfect step right here and I'm pretty much hugging the truck. So that is great. I know for some that may not seem very important, but for some job sites that is actually very important. So I am happy about that. And yeah, I really like it. It does sink in a little bit more than what I'd like to, which would be none. But it does sink it in a little bit. The plate really helps. And then the swiveling, going back. And it does touch, but that's fine. I'm thinking about putting a bungee around here to here. So that way it'll keep it here just for some reason if something is happening. Maybe not here since that would be the highest point for centrifugal force to bring it out. But yeah, that's pretty much the game plan. I do like this swivels out and it just swivels right back in. I'll tighten it up and it'll be good to go. So that's all great. I really like it. I wish it just wouldn't sink it in as much, but I'm trying to save weight on the truck. That's why I went with aluminum, because weight's getting very, very tight right now. So I'm happy I went with this choice, and I believe it'll hold up just fine. So, anywho's, that's pretty much the game plan. It looks great up there. It will have the cover on it. I'll be getting the leads on here soon. Be going down to MPB to get the lug ends, splice some other leads, and run those all the way down here just to be stored. And then whenever the welder needs to be hooked up, the welder will be hooked up. So that is game plan. Everything looks great. I'm very happy with it. And as that, you'll be getting more closer looks at this very soon. It's getting dark. I have other things I need to get done tonight for the truck. So it'll be another long night, but it's perfectly fine. It's all worth it. I'm just happy with the progress made, because progress is good progress. It was a little bit slower than expected, but it did get done. So I'm very happy about it. Hope y'all enjoy it, and I'll see y'all in the next vlog.